I will walk you through step by step of where we need to be when we're working on our receiving. So now, Coach Steve and I, we're going to work on a few catching receiving drills. When I work on these drills, both of these drills that we're going to do here today are bare hand receiving drills. I think that bare hand receiving is something that helped my career exponentially, and it's something I still do at serious length to this day. So Coach Steve is going to have about a good grouping of balls in front of him here, and he's just going to flip me to start probably pretty firmly, one at a time, a pitch to me. So I'm going to go ahead and receive the ball, and I'm just going to receive it, stick it, and not manipulate it, and drop it to the ground like so. Notice now how my hand kind of relaxes a little before I'm timing his backswing, so I'm not kind of just standing here and being stiff and going out to get the ball. Notice how I'm kind of trying to catch these balls behind home plate. So if I was to catch it and drop it, I would be dropping it right there, as opposed to if I caught it out here and dropped it onto the plate. So the reason why we do that is we let the ball travel, right? Yes, when the ball is middle and center cut, we have a little bit more room to allow the ball to travel. But as we start to work the zone, we'll be able to see where I'm extending and when I'm not. So now we're going to just kind of work on the bottom of the zone here. So when I'm working the bottom half, I think it's really important to be able to just catch this ball and stick it here, like so. I'm not really trying to do anything like this where I manipulate the ball or pull it up like so. I'm just trying to really get my head behind the ball and catch it like this. Make sure we're having our eyes behind the ball, every single one, like this. It should be pretty simple. When the ball is kind of in the middle of the plate, nice slow speed. My thumb is not perpendicular with the ground. Instead, it's actually parallel. The reason why I want to hear, for you guys who haven't seen that video, is I want to be able to work along this rail that I have imagined for myself. If I'm working here, it becomes more of a clock. I would rather work linear than in a circle, right? So this pitch is going to be, to catch the pitch on the inner half, go ahead, toss it out there, it's going to be a lot harder for me, a little bit more, a lot harder for me to go get it, right? Now, if I'm here, I'm just going to turn my wrist over and allow my arm to absorb the force of the ball and stick it much better than if I was to have to go out there. Even just catching it bare hand, I wasn't trying to miss that by any means. It's just much harder for me to do. Center low, low and away, and I'm going to kind of work the zone, the square zone here. So I'm just going to be here, kind of catching it around the zone, right? So every pitch is its own exercise. So I'm not really catching the ball and focusing on something else. The reason why we do this is because now I'm not just working the ball right down the middle, right? I'm working the ball in different positions. So maybe you can have your coach kind of switch the ball where it needs to be so that you're not falling into any patterns, right? So we're constantly moving our hands around and working all these different positions. So for you coaches at home that might be looking at this, when we now move on to our second drill here, which is kind of more of a rapid fire thing, once you feel like you as a player have kind of mastered the ability to receive one at a time, I normally have my coach kind of just take a good grouping of balls, gather them in front of you like this, and now where I'm just, the instructor should have their head down at the ball and just be flipping the ball like this as fast as I possibly can, and I'm receiving the ball and dropping it. So, all right, so Coach Steve is going to kind of fire these balls off to me as quick as he can, and I'm just going to be working my hands here. Notice how soft my hands are when I'm receiving these balls. Like, I'm not going out and catching these balls like this. It becomes much harder for me to do. I'm allowing the ball to travel, and I'm watching every single one in with my eyes. Yeah, he's going to be able to move the ball around the zone. I'm going to be able to just kind of stick it. Notice I'm not manipulating anything back and forth the zone like this. I'm kind of just sticking it and letting it go where it needs to be. If you drop on, it's okay. This drill is meant to be challenging. It's meant to be difficult. So for us, we just got to be able to stick with it.